think, especially because teams are looking for it. I think officials are looking for it more now that, we kind of have a tendency to hold. And just really making sure that we're good with our hands, we're smart about, the positions we're putting ourselves in, and we don't allow the officials to kind of get in that 50-50 spot where they got to make a call.
You said before players don't always have the chance to speak the way they did on Sunday. I guess are you saying what Sunday was a little different from the norm in terms of people being able to speak up a little bit more?
Yeah, I think so. I think usually it's just kind of like the hierarchy of things. You're not going to go up to your coach and say what's on your mind. But I think Sunday, we want to hear what you have to say. We're open to kind of hearing what your thoughts are, because we're not where we want to be. We want to figure out why we aren't. And I think that just kind of gave guys an opportunity. But most days you're not going to come in on a Sunday and go telling your coach what do you think happened and what went wrong and what you think you could do to make it better. You're more to kind of hear, learn, and listen. So yeah.
How productive do you think that was?
I think it was very productive. I think it gave the coaches a good opportunity to see it from our side, and then vice versa. Us a good opportunity to see it from their point of view. And I think you see where their frustrations arise, and then they see where our frustrations arise. And I think going forward, it kind of works to better that dynamic. I think better understand what we're trying to do and why we're trying to do it, and put us in a better position down the road.
Just overall, have you been satisfied with your team's response from what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I think today we came out really well. I think guys worked really hard today. I feel like we really want to get after it this week and do what we can to win this Freedom Trophy. And I feel like there was that energy, that passion to get after it and get better today.
For you personally, when you talk about being able to share some of those frustrations, what were some of the frustrations maybe that you had in the last few weeks?
I think just as an offense, especially, it's just been executing, especially from an O-line standpoint. I think just the penalties are really killing us. I think a lot of self-inflicted mistakes. I feel like we move the ball well. We just don't put it in the end zone. I think red zone frustration as well. We haven't been finishing drives the way we kind of started off the year doing. And when you go down there and you get 3 or 0 points instead of 7, it really kills you. And it just makes it a lot harder to win games. You're not going to win a lot of games with field goals and you score touchdowns. And we haven't been doing that. And I think going forward, it's what can we do to do that. And then, like I said, eliminating those penalties, because they do kill us. We'll be on a drive, we'll be rolling, and then it's 2nd and 20. And it's hard to, what are you going to call it 2nd and 20? I mean, you got to gain 20 yards. They know you got to gain 20 yards, and you don't have a lot of plays in your playbook for that. So it's just, keeping ourselves out of those spots and finishing in the red zone.
Coach Phillips kind of talked about through this whole kind of the injuries that the team's experienced, about leaning more on the offensive line. And I guess I'm wondering what does that kind of look like in terms of, because obviously you guys don't run, kiss passes, but what has that meant to you, and how has that kind of manifested itself?
I think it's just doing our jobs and doing it at a high level. I think, when you have, everyone, you can make more mistakes and kind of lean on those guys that have a lot of experience to kind of get you out of those situations. When you're put in a position with a lot of younger guys, you can't make those same mistakes. You got to be a lot cleaner. You got to strive to be perfect, because they're not quite as experienced, and you have to give them even more of an opportunity to get more comfortable, have those opportunities to find those holes, complete those passes, and as an offensive line, just how can we do our job every time to give those guys an opportunity to make a play. And we have to do it well. We have to hold our blocks for a long period of time, and I think that's kind of the burden we want to take on as a group.
We see all the numbers from Nebraska, really good pass rush, one of the best run defenses in the country. What are they doing defensively that's helping be this successful?
They do a great job of mixing up looks. I think, preparing-wise, they got a variety of things we have to be ready for. And I think, as an offense, it makes it hard to kind of have the full playbook out there when you don't know what they want to run. And on top of that, they do a good job really stunting, moving guys around, slanting, twisting, and it makes it kind of hard to block up a lot of schemes, because you tackle passing off with a guard in the middle of a run play, and that's not always the easiest thing to do. So kind of keeping you on your toes like that, I think, is what makes their defense good. And then they have a lot of good players, and good players doing a lot of stuff. Exactly, it makes it good for a defense and harder on offense.
Tanor, just taking this pass game for example, through the first 40 passes, you guys only threw for more than 10 yards 4 times. Do you think potentially with, you guys kind of going short play, but then going at a quick pace, those penalties are even more killer, and then it puts more pressure on the offensive line? Perhaps?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, like I said, once you get to 2nd and 20, let's say even if you get 10 yards, it's 3rd and 10, and you get the D-line kind of teeing off. Like, they know it's going to be a pass, you know it's going to be a pass, and they're kind of dropping their coverage guys to the sticks. And now if you gain 9 yards, it's still not a first down. And I think that's really where it hurts us, because if you, let's say, gain 4 yards and it's 2nd and 6, you gain 7, boom, first down. When you have to gain just massive chunk plays, and they know you have to, and even if you gain 9, it has to be 10. I think that's really hard on an offense, you know.
I'd say it's a fluffy question, but Thanksgiving's next week, man.
Mm-hmm.
What you thankful for?
Thankful for my family, thankful for all my teammates, and the opportunity in front of us. I think, you know, I've been given the chance to play the game I love at a high level, and I couldn't be more grateful for them than that. I mean, the dream come true for anyone, and, you know, even though the season hasn't gone the way we wanted to, there's nobody else I want to do it with.
And favorite Thanksgiving food?
I would say definitely the turkey or mashed potatoes.